Welcome back to the Allotment Gardener. It's the last weekend in June. Filmed a bit later in the day because my cameraman had his 18th birthday last night, so we weren't particularly fit for an early start this morning. One of the things we're going to talk about today is the compost. You've seen the compost being built before, and you know what to throw in it, roughly speaking. But I don't know how many of you have heard of a bean trench, but a bean trench is a trench dug, filled with rotten compost and kitchen waste, etc., which really gets the beans going. And to prove that point, in my compost, when some of my beans didn't show, I threw the toilet roll holders and all into the compost, and now they're growing. As you can see, they're quite healthy looking plants, so I'm not going to stake them up. I shall leave them in there with the compost. What else we're going to add in there? You can see there's tea bags and eggs, empty eggs. I should have broken them up possibly, but put a load of annual weeds that I've dug up in my weeding, all the broad bean cases, as we've eaten all the beans, and anything that has gone past its best is put back in the compost. But you've also got to put a lot of brown material in there, so we've got excess toilet roll holders, we'll be putting some of them in, egg cartons, any of that sort of cardboard. Someone's been to a well-known burger joint, and we've got the tray that carries the drinks, and we're going to put some screwed up newspaper in. The bonus of putting it in screwed up is it creates little air pockets within the compost. So that's all going in now, and then we'll get on to the rest of the chores around the plot. This is the cucurbits bed, which I weeded 2 days ago, but we have had a lot of rain since then. And this row of moolies looked fine. The leaves on them look slightly larger than a normal radish leaf, but not having grown them before, I thought that was normal. But the amount of growth here that you can see in these plants, they've almost doubled in size. And not having grown them before, I think the trick here is I'm going to take one out and see if they've gone to seed already, or if this is normal. So I've got 3 fairly close ones here, so what we'll do is we'll try and remove the middle one and see if it gives us a clue. Well, they're certainly not what I would expect, having seen the wonderful photos on Google, etc., of a mooli, so I think they're probably still doing okay. This one can go in the compost, and we'll leave them to grow for a bit longer. I mentioned weeding 2 days ago. I didn't weed the brassica beds because I was on my own, and the cages I built really a two-man job, or unpick all the hooks on the top and climb inside. I didn't want to do that, and I wish I had, because I'd also have looked at the red cabbages on the end and seen these caterpillars, which are doing a massive amount of damage, as you'll see. So my next job is to go through every leaf and pick every single one of them off. They're quite hairy. I don't know whether they're any that will be likely to cause me any damage, so I'll stick a pair of gloves on to do this. Well, there's 8 of the little munchers. I thought there would have been more, but they probably got so fat eating all my red cabbages that they've fallen down to the floor, but I can't see them. We're going to get rid of them, and I think that's going to have to be a daily chore now, coming down and checking the undersides of all my brassicas. I like my hand weeding rather than hoeing. I do hoe, but I do like my hand weeding, and the benefit sometimes is you find the odd plant that's just seeded itself. There's a little tomato plant growing in the brassica bed. If I'd been hoeing, that would have been chopped, but I'll leave that to grow, even though we've got loads, just to see what variety it is. 2 weeks ago we put in half a row of lettuces. So you can see them all coming up here quite nicely. Now they're established, we're going to start filling that modular tray every week to keep a continued crop of lettuces coming up. Right, I've got some Lollo Rossa. I've just put a couple in the 6 modules there. So they're now 2 weeks behind the ones in the bed, and in a week, maybe 2 weeks time, we'll do a second row. By the time we get this whole thing full, we'll be taking the plants out here, I would think, and replacing them with these ones, put some more compost in and start off another load, so that should keep us going right through the summer. More weeding to be done on this bed, but as you can see, the beans have entered the next stage. Well, Sunday roast as normal, and we're going to have some broad beans with a Sunday roast tomorrow. There's well away on here, and I don't want to get them too big, so I prefer to eat them when they're a little bit smaller and tender. So certainly anything that gets to this size is as far as it's going to get on my plot. And there we have the broad beans. Now to get some peas. There we are. Nice pot of broad beans and peas to go with our roast chicken. There we go. Once we finish the roast chicken, have a few strawberries and ice cream. I'm standing in the middle of the cucumber bed, and finally they're all taking off. There's a few flowers on the courgettes. The one that almost had to be brought back from the afterlife is looking very nice and green. So I'm going to keep watering and feeding these, and hopefully we'll get some decent crop off of them. Most of the weeding done now today. We've got our food for the Sunday dinner, and I think that'll do us for this weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.